Peace. Live and direct from New York. It's Absolute here at the Absolute Boss Collective, coming at you with another weekly update on my trading performance. Okay, before we get into it, we want to shout out Martin Luther King with a quote. And this quote can help you in your trading in the upcoming week, years, months, and days as you do your thing, as I'm going to be doing my thing. I saw this quote and it really got me inspired and ready to take on the next week, next months, next years in this game. And the quote goes like this: if you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you got to keep moving forward. And that's how we going to break it down here this week when we discuss trading. You know what I'm saying? You got to keep moving forward no matter what happened. Sometimes you might have to take a loss. Sometimes it may be a choppy market. Remember, markets moves up, down, sideways. So depending on what kind of circumstance you find yourself in, you got to keep moving forward. You can't let anything stop you. And without further ado, we're going to get into my returns for this week, okay? I came out with, hold on, I got it somewhere over here. $482, which averages out to $96 per day, 5-day trading week, okay? Now, that's on the low side. Let me break it down for you like this. Worst day was Friday. Ended the day with minus $32.12. Best day, Tuesday, $268.18. Okay? Had a total of 31 trades, 27 winners, 4 losers. Return percentage was 2.92%. Okay? So we're going to talk about what went wrong. Those four losses that I had, all four of them were under $100, which is good. I remember the days when I would think about limiting my losses to $100. So on that note, my performance was well. I took a loss well. I know how to take it on the chin, so to speak. So I took that loss, 2 losses for on the high end. I tried to short Riot. Riot has been rocking and rolling for quite some time now. Maybe the last, I would say the last quarter, last 3 months. Riot has really been doing its thing. Okay, I've made some significant gains on Riot. I tried to short it. And actually, I did short it and had a very minor profit. That should have been a sign for me to leave it alone. Okay? However, I chose to try and short it again. I held that overnight, came out with a loss of $75.04. I just cut that loss. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't trying to ride it out or play the game, you know what I'm saying? I just ate that. The other loss I took was thanks to your boy, Joe Biden. I went long with a short-dated call, about 40 some odd days out. I took this call in anticipation of Joe Biden announcing his stimulus plan. So my theory was, with him making this announcement, the market would take off. The exact opposite happened, okay? And this was due to the fact that we had a very poor jobless claims on Thursday, and we had poor retail sales numbers on Friday, okay? And I would also add that perhaps people were not too excited about the stimulus plan. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because he was talking about, all the hype was it was going to be a $2,000 stimulus. I think Friday's when we started to see people say 1,400. You know what I'm saying? Added to the 600 that just came out a couple of weeks ago. So because of those things, the market did the exact opposite. The S&P, I know at one point was down 3 points. A point is a dollar. So if you hear me talk like that and say point, I'm just talking about a dollar. Half a point is 50 cents. Feel me? This is not, don't let the lingo get you confused. You know what I'm saying? This is really simple to understand once you understand the language. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to teach you the language. So if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing and liking. And if there's something that you don't understand, just leave me a comment below and I'll get back at you. Anyway, back into it. Got another quote for you. This is a trading quote. The success or failure of your trading career does not depend on your gains. It depends on your losses. How you manage them and what you learn from them. Okay? So, I read that wrong. Email. But anyway, that right there represents what happened this week. You know what I'm saying? I had those two losses. The short that I took overnight, I took 88.04 loss for that. Okay? Wow, both of my losses ended in 4 cents. Okay, so a $75.04 loss on Riot and 88.04 loss on a SPY call. Okay, so if you add that to what I brought home, you know what I'm saying? If I maybe didn't take those trades, I would have been up a little bit higher. I told you we had $96 for the week. It's just about sometimes you gotta humble yourself. Feel me? Like, you might take a trade or you might have a trade idea that you may execute on, and you gotta humble yourself sometimes and realize when you're wrong. Because just like I quoted those losses, that $75 and that $88, they could have easily both been over $100. You know what I'm saying? They could have been far worse if I didn't exit quickly. Okay? You have to recognize when you called it wrong. Like Friday, when the market opened and things was bubbling, I could see that we were going down and we were continuing to go down. Which also, I would like to add that I had some SPY shorts. So Friday, remember I said Friday I was minus $32. I started the day up about $27 on a short that I had. Replaced that short. I made, I think, 26 or something on that. And then I took another short. It was a 325 put that I got on the S&P. At one point, I was up about $41 on that trade. Actually, at the time that I saw myself, I saw it rocking and rolling. I was in the bathroom. You know what I'm saying? I was pinching a loaf. Okay, let's keep it real. These things happen. And what could have helped in that situation is if I maybe had a sell order. I could have put in a sell order, you know what I'm saying, maybe for $25 or something like that, and got out. I didn't do that. When I got out, I saw I had a $41 profit. My idea, my intention was to let that run a little bit, you know what I'm saying, trying to get at least $90 off of that trade. You know what I mean? The trade cost me about $900. So I wanted to let it rock a little bit, being that it was Friday. We were going into a 3-day weekend. So I'm figuring, we're looking very ugly. We had dropped below the previous day's low on the S&P. So I said, yo, let's just rock a little bit. I watched it go from 41 to 30 to like $19 down to like $15. And at that point, I was not going to close a trade for a $15 profit. I could have. You know what I mean? It would have pushed me over my current average of $96. $41 would have put me positive on the day. You win some, you lose some. I am still in that short. So if we gap down on Tuesday, then that'll be a good look for the brother. You know what I mean? However, you have to recognize, you're taking calculated risk here when you put your money on the line and you trade, so perhaps, you can get your target profit. Sometimes you have to recognize when maybe, it's the wrong environment. You got to go for half of what your normal target would be. And sometimes you're going to take a loss. Sometimes I could think, hey, this is going down. I'm going to short it. Let me buy a put. And you buy that put and then the market rips the other way. I also wanted to add on to that by saying, if you acknowledge the fact that during the coronavirus outbreak and when this was gathering momentum and really had everybody freaked out, the market fell. We had some ugly days back in March of 2020. And what happened? The Fed came out, offered stimulus. And that stimulus boosted the market. I remember, I've been there. I've traded these environments before. So once I recognized these things happen, then I said to myself, hey, this is what I expect to happen on this particular day when Biden was supposed to make this announcement. That's primarily the reason I took that trade is thinking like, hey, yo, this is gonna pop. You know what I mean? However, I was wrong. So, I had to eat that. So I end the week with $482, $96 per day, on an average, 2.92% on the week, which is more than the U.S. Savings account rate. Okay, and this is something that you could be doing also. What could you do? What could you have done with an extra $482 for the week? You know what I mean? You could flip your money, trade, and take those proceeds and invest. That 482, maybe you could have bought yourself a share of Zoom. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you could have bought some Pfizer. I'm not recommending any of these stocks. I'm just throwing names out. You could have bought 2 shares of Nike. You could have bought Apple. You could have bought perhaps a share of Netflix. I don't know. The point is these mechanics are achievable. Okay? All you have to do is study. Okay? Study whatever stocks it is that you want to trade. If you don't have the currency to trade the stock outright, you can trade the option. If you don't know how to do that, leave me a comment below, and let's build. Let's go back and forth, and I can explain to you how you can do something like that. You know what I'm saying? By trading options. You know what I'm saying? Which is a derivative that's based on the underlying, which is a stock. The underlying just means the stock that the option is tied to. You see how that sound all flying crazy and you like, yo, what is that? And it's really something simple. You know what I mean? So like, subscribe,